I'm Nick Ionati with Casual Furniture Solutions. Just doing another video on replacing actually the tilt lever as well as the tilt degree scale on an AKZ umbrella. Got several requests on that, so we're gonna get it out to you guys. So these are the two parts that we're gonna focus on: is the tilt degree scale, which is the notched scale that you can tilt your umbrella side to side with, as well as the tilt degree lever, which you use to do that. A lot of times the bolts get stripped out of the aluminum casing on it, so rendering it no good. Right now is also a good time to replace the deployment cord on there. Everything's going to be apart, and it's pretty easy to mend together and pull all the way through, so it's a good time to do that. So let's get started here. So I'm just going to take the umbrella off the base and then set it on the ground here. We've already taken the canopy off. I always want to do that whenever you're repairing the umbrella, just so you don't ruin it. It's very expensive to replace. So take this off. Yep, that one just fell out right there, so must be stripped. This might be good with two people to do. I'm just used to doing it, so. All right. Now that we have that on the ground, just gonna take the Allen wrench, remove this screw that's holding it in, and then you can slide the tilt degree lever out of the way. Gonna jump in and then take this bolt out right here. This bolt holds the bottom of the tilt degree scale in place, so we're gonna want to take that out, and that'll loosen everything up. Just a nut that holds that in place. Okay. Also, we're gonna want to disassemble this area, because this is going to be the deployment cord that goes up through here, through a bunch of pulleys, and then up through the umbrella to the end. So we're just taking the loop lock stopper out now, and you just kind of got to get in behind it and pop that out. There we go. And I usually just cut this right here. And then when you have a little bit of slack here, to mend, we're going to mend two cords together and pull it through, so we can get it up here. So this is why it's a good idea to replace the deployment cord on here at this time, because you gotta attach a cord on there anyway. So what we do is you can mend the two black sheaths of the cord together, because it's made out of nylon versus the inside, I believe, is the Kevlar cord. So we're going to cut this back a little bit, and then you can slide that up. Do the same thing to this side. Kind of hard to cut. And then this time, just melt the two cords together. Place them there. So it's basically just plastic right now. Let that cool down. and then kind of squish it together with your fingers so it slides through the channel easily. And then really you just want to get it up past the pulleys. There's a bunch of pulleys on the inside, and I just pulled it through. Now you can break this loose, leave this cord here for when we come back to it later, and then we'll run it up the channel. So if you are just replacing the tilt degree, or I'm sorry, the tilt lever, you're going to take these 3 bolts out. That hold it all in place. Of course, I got to do it by hand. So we'll get these 3 screws out, and then this will slide off, and then you can just replace this tilt lever. So this is kind of what holds that all together. There's also a pulley in here that you want to take out so you don't lose it. Now this will slide out, this comes down. This is where you can take the lever right off of it, and then replace the lever with a new one if that's what you're if that's the repair that you're doing. Then you're going to slide that lever back up, and then reassemble this. And then you can, if it's just the lever that you're replacing, you can skip to further down the road here on the video, and I'll show you how to put that all back together. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is just replace the tilt degree scale while we're here, and basically there's 6 rivets that hold it in place. You know, 3 up top, 3 on the bottom, and we're going to have to drill those out. I just use a 1/4 inch drill on it, and then you really just need to drill the heads off. You don't need to go all the way through. Okay, so I got all 6 of those off. Now what I do is grab a screwdriver and a hammer. You're going to push the bottom ends of the rivets through into the umbrella so it's not holding it in place anymore. Alright, so I was having a hard time with pushing that rivet through, but now that I got it through, we're back. And then there's a big spring in this that's, you know, spring loaded, and you just need to push this down, which you just take a mallet, hit the old one out, and then you have the tilt degree in your hand. It's a good time to try and get all the ends of the rivets out. So I'm going to lift the top of the umbrella up here and try and shake those out so they're not just jingling in there. Okay. That's good. And then you're going to want to put your tilt arm back up in place. Slide that up out of the way. Then you're going to take the new tilt degree scale, which I'm actually just going to use the same one because this was not broken, and put it back into place. So we're going to feed the cord back down through the part, there's a slot in the bottom of it. And you just go all the way through, and it's easy to pull this cord tight, and then it makes it straighter, and then you can just feed it right through. And then what you're going to want to do is line these holes up. There's 6 holes that are drilled into this part. Line them up on there so you don't have to twist it around. And then you're just going to slide this up into place and turn it until you find the holes. And it is helpful to have 2 people doing this, as you can see. Usually this wants to spring down, and I stick I usually use my knee to push it into place. Some people have used just moving straps. So I've got the holes lined up, and I'm just going to stick a small screwdriver in there to hold its place. Now that won't kick back. So now you get your rivet gun, and then I just pick up these rivets from Home Depot or Lowe's. They're a aluminum rivet, and it's a 3/16 inch in diameter and then a 1/4 inch long. And then just start riveting everything in place. Usually once you get your first or second one in place, then you can take that screwdriver out. Okay. And if you've ever used rivets, or if you've never used rivets, it's not that difficult. Basically like a screw, but you just need this tool to put them in. 2. Sorry if I'm in your way here, it's just... 3. And we got 2 more on the bottom. All right, so the rivets are back in place. So again, I've kind of mentioned that it's a good time to replace the deployment cord on this, seeing that you have everything pretty much together, the cord's intact. So what I'm going to do is mend these 2 cords back together. Might have to cut the ends off. I'm going to try it anyway, but yeah, I'm going to cut these cords. Because once you mend it one time, they don't stick together very well. Okay, so you just melt the black. If you get white in there, it's it doesn't melt. It doesn't work very well. Okay, so now that we have that mended, bring this end a little bit closer. Then we're going to go to the end of the canopy, or the end of the umbrella. Unscrew this bottom portion where you can attach a light if you want it. then the cord's right down here. So now, as I am pulling this cord out, this one's going to slide through all the way, and your cord will be in place. You don't want too much tension on the cord where it's mended together so it doesn't break. Okay, so we got the cord pulled all the way through, and you just pull it apart, and then just tie a quick knot in it so it doesn't go all the way back up. So now we're going to go back and work over here, and then you have your pulley that needs to go in there. The cord, if you want to come over here, the cord needs to go to the left side of this, and then the pulley can slide up into the channel. And you want to line the pulley up. It has a for the bolt to go through it, and then we're going to put that back into place. Kind of pull the cord down with it. Make sure that pulley stays where it's supposed to. All right, just want to clarify one thing with the placement of the cord over the pulley going through this the tilt degree scale. You definitely want the cord to be on top of that pulley as you're going through. So it's going to look something like this. So the cord's going to be coming down the tube over top of that pulley, and then it's going to continue on around the other pulleys on the inside. So when it was on the ground, you could have it flipped either way, so that wouldn't necessarily work for every situation. And take your screwdriver that you were using to hold that in place, just to put that pulley right where it needs to go so you can get that bolt down there easily. Okay, so that's that. And get your socket that I've got the Allen wrench on, and tighten that down. Okay, so that's into place. All right, so we're gonna attach the loop lock stopper now. So this is the shape of it. So you're gonna go through the back side of the top, and then through the center hole, and then tie a knot through the back of it. So we're gonna go through the top hole. Then you're gonna loop down and around and go through the middle hole, and then at this time you just tie a knot on the back side of it. Give yourself enough space to be able to do that. I usually tie the knot, I give it a quick twist, and then put it through just to make the knot a little bit larger. Okay, now what we're going to do is stick this knot into the hole where the loop lock stopper goes, which is right. I'm gonna put it through that hole there, and then that's the bolt hole that's gonna go in. So work that knot into that spot, kind of twist that in there, and then we can bolt that in place. Okay, so that's in place. Now I always just pull that extra rope through there and go through the top. Now this is all set, and this is where you anchor the deployment cord. Now we can go back up to the end of the umbrella, kind of tighten this one down a little bit. Now you're just going to tie a knot, just kind of randomly. We're going to adjust that in a second. So I'm just going to do a quick knot because I know we're going to need to change it, so it doesn't go anywhere. Then now we're going to bolt the arm back onto it. I remember where I Alright, so I couldn't find the screws to this, so we had to take a quick break so we could find it. But anyway, so now we're going to just attach the tilt lever to the tilt degree scale. You have to kind of pick this up so it's level, so you can get it straight in there. There's one. I gotta flip it over and do the other side. You might even be able to do this part while it's up in the base, so you're not upside down, which I'm actually gonna do. So from here, we're just gonna pick this umbrella up, put it back on the stand, finish it up, and then just make sure we have the right amount of cord for the deployment. Alright, so we've got that in the stand. Not fighting gravity anymore. So I can get this last bolt in place. And it really is a good idea every spring, just tighten these bolts up because they do tend to come loose. And they'll strip easy and you'll be in the same situation as before. Alright. So we're going to put these back bolts on so we don't forget about those. I'll tighten these down later. Okay, tighten that up. And then what we're going to do is just adjust the deployment cord length. So we're going to crank this out. Oh, all that. Somehow that rib got stuck in the lever handle. Okay, so we're just short of where we want this to go. So let's bring this down a little bit. We're going to tie the knot just a little bit higher. Try it again. All right, so that's the perfect length for that. So now what we've done is replace the tilt lever as well as the tilt degree scale. And you can find those on the webpage at www.casualfs.com. And then you can order it right from there and use this video as a guide to help you replace it. So if you guys have any other thoughts for videos, just shoot a comment to me and we'll see if we can get those up for you. From here on out, I'll just put the canopy back on and you'll be good to go. Thank you.